The Brixton Local Heroes Craft Connections banner was created during the COVID-19 lockdowns by the Brixton Library Craft Group and unveiled on the 2nd of September 2021. The banner, which consists of 17 individual textile squares celebrating local people and the Local Heroes logo, was featured as part of the Lambeth Heritage Festival 2021. John Daniel, 1966 to 2017. John Daniel was a well-known graphic artist and award-winning creative director. He was a long-term resident of Milkwood Road, one of the most promising creatives of his generation, mentor for young people, and designer of Afro superheroes. He worked in collaboration with 198 Contemporary Arts and Learning and designed the icons for Railton Road's Brixton Advice Centre. He was pivotal in capturing the Black British struggle through his artwork. Crafter Cecilia Washburn says, "I was delighted to create a portrait of graphic designer John Daniel. I love his work and took inspiration from his portraits of heroes in the Black Power movement. That is why the portrait has a simple, bold-colored graphic style. I added an all-over cantha stitch in the background for added texture and used a combination of embroidery and fabric pastels for the portrait." Olive Morris, 1952 to 1979. Jamaican-born, Brixton-based community leader and housing activist. She was highly regarded in the Black nationalist, feminist, and squatters' rights movements. She was also a member of the British Black Panthers, meeting at 121 Anarchist Book Club, Railton Road. Her campaigning was widely recognized following her early death, and Lambeth Council named one of their most prominent buildings after her. It is now Lambeth Archives, and the new building has a plaque inside in her honor. Crafter Swinda Mark says, "I knew Olive Morris as a family friend, going to visit her and her sister on Railton Road. The Olive Morris piece is a tribute to an amazing woman. I tried to show her power and fun through use of stitching and to show her strength. I used strong colors and sequins for her hair. Through written slogans and her megaphone, I showed off some of the campaigns she was involved with. She was remarkable in her fight to improve the lives of others." Norma Williamson, 1947 to 2015. Born in Jamaica, lived in Lambeth. She wrote a book and helped elderly people. A professionally trained mediator, she used her skills to help people whenever she could. Appalled by the isolation of many older people around her, she first befriended and helped vulnerable neighbors before becoming a trustee for Age UK. A tireless volunteer in Brixton, Norma was a trustee treasurer of the Brixton Society. It was the example in her life that she set that inspired the Local Heroes Project. Norma was a National Institute of Clinical Excellence, NICE, director, an Age UK Lambeth trustee, and a member of the Brixton Market Board. She initiated 2 Brixton art fairs on Windrush Square, took part in many events and activities, co-wrote the book titled Brixton Synagogue, published by the Brixton Society. Her Green Memorial Bay Tree dedication was presented to Brixton Library in June 2016 by the Brixton Society, with a commemoration arranged by Friends of Windrush Square and Friends of Tate Library, Brixton. Crafter Anique Allais says, I made the Norma Williamson textile piece as a representation of some of Norma's local interests and as a tribute to her unfailing support to Brixton, highlighting some of her lifelong commitment to places of importance in Brixton. By utilizing the logos of Brixton Society, Vida's Cafe for Lambeth Age UK, I described Norma's love of her locality. I developed stitching, example feather stitch, to give texture, and used fabric paint and pens, appliques for color. By using various materials bought in Brixton Market, I felt true to Norma's personality and reflected on the passion she felt for her community. Lloyd Newton, 1959 to 2016. Lloyd Newton was born in Jamaica and came to England in 1971. He went to university here and became a teacher. As an opera star, he performed with English National Opera, the Royal Opera House, and Glyndebourne Festival. He toured with Opera North and with the Royal Shakespeare Company and performed on the international stage. His strong links with Brixton led to Pegasus giving a performance in the Black Cultural Archives in his honor after his death. He particularly wanted to break down the elitist perception about opera. He created many national, international, and local platforms for the Pegasus performance team. He developed children's workshops as well as tours and exchanges with America and the Caribbean. He also held fundraising events, concerts, and local tours to Sadler's Wells. Lloyd also toured France and Italy, where he performed Porgy and Bess. Pegasus rehearsal space was first at St. Matthew's Church and is now at the Brixton Library. Val Augier. Crafter Delmay Parker wrote the following in her memory. Val Augier, RIP 2021, was artistic, creative, kind, purposeful, hardworking, and physically strong. She was my art group leader, running the West Norwood Thursday Morning Art Club. Val was a really prolific artist. Each Thursday morning, Val would have produced 2 paintings and lent them up against the wall to dry before I got there. The last few years for Val were very trying. Having chemotherapy for cancer, she still offered to make this textile piece for local hero Lloyd Newton's square in the craft banner. To add to her struggle, Val contracted COVID, but still completed the piece, the first of the group to finish and to be sent in. Crafter Fitzroyal Pulinski also knew Val's work and had attended Pegasus workshops with Lloyd Newton, so wrote this. Val Augier was the first person to finish her artwork for the Local Heroes Banner project, just before going into hospital. In a way, Lloyd Newton, who she chose for her Local Heroes project, was also a local community innovator. Val's painting of Lloyd Newton is colourful and full of light. He is in the spotlight, or perhaps a late spring or summer performance. He's in full voice. The power of his singing is in his facial expression. We can imagine the resounding flow of his voice is also taking his Glyndebourne scarf forward in the direction of his voice. Pearl Alcock, 1934 to 2006. Crafter Nina Smith says, I made 2 textile pieces, and this one is of Pearl Alcock. Pearl helped the LGBTQ community by opening a shebeen to enable them to meet up in a safe environment, and later she became an artist. I enjoyed sewing the panels. I'm glad that this project was able to bring these people, famous or not, back to this community that is Brixton.